Hi there, Laura Warren Medium. Welcome to my January energy forecast. This is a feature I'm going to add to my YouTube channel every month now. So every month you can get a heads up as to what's coming in the next month. And this is really nice because I feel like we're all in a time where we just want a little bit of, security, some answers, maybe to be able to prepare ourselves for what's coming up. So I used a deck, an oracle deck, which I often use oracle decks for my own personal use, and I use them just for this kind of thing, general energy about the year or the month, and to help me prepare. Sometimes if I have a question, personal question, that's what I use the oracle decks for. So I don't use them in my readings per se, but I just feel like they're so nice to have and to use when you feel like you're a little stuck, you feel like you can't really figure something out and you just need a little inspiration. So they're great for that. So I use today Wildwood Tarot. Very interesting deck. Lots to look at in that deck. And the first card that I picked was called the Mirror. So I'm going to hold it up for you. And you can see that. So this is representing the Lady of the Lake. This is the Lady of the Lake. She's holding a crystal ball. As she looks very serpent-like. She's holding a mirror, and you can see it looks to be a blue heron or a pelican in the foreground there. So this card represents how we view ourselves, how we view our path, and our connection with everything that's magic and everything that's miracles in our life. And even there is this look at ourselves, like, what do we believe? What do we think? How do we feel about things? And paired with this card, what I was really feeling for January is that we're spiritually exhausted. We've expended our spiritual energy. And there's a lot of excitement about the coming year. Absolutely. There's a lot of excitement about change for the better, about some changes that have already been made and being implemented. There's a lot of that feeling around new opportunities and abundance as well. But I want you to remember what you've been through. And to me, this is sort of like a looking back card and a looking inward card. What have I been through? Where am I? A check in with yourself. What do I need to do at this time to recharge my battery? And so I want you to remember that this is not a race. Oh, we feel so much excitement about next year. We really do. And there's so many opportunities, but I want you to understand that you have to recharge and be ready for this. Just as much as there is opportunities in the kind of the good category, I'd say there's a lot of challenges as well. And so we have to be prepared for those. I also get this feeling of surrender. So this feeling like it's time to allow ourselves to surrender into what the process is. What's our sacred contract? Who are we as people, and what are we being called to do from the desires of the heart? Because the desires of the heart are really coming from the divine. And the divine leads us. Sometimes we don't always understand where we're going, but the divine knows better than us. So there's a lot of trust issues happening right now. There's a lot of, how do I surrender and still have faith that this is my path? This is the way I need to go. But I want you to remember something. How many success stories do you hear about people who have surrendered to their path, know it's their path, and let go of every earthly thing? Think about this for a second. How many people became a success after they gave up everything connected to their previous life? And that's not just stuff. Sometimes it takes them a lot of money to get to where they need to go. And I just recently listened to the interview Rebel Wilson did with BBC, and Rebel said that she had to sell everything she owned, everything, to move to California. And that's when she became an international success. She was already a success in Australia, but to get to California, when she was 30, she sold everything and just went with a small suitcase and a pillow. And that's a very common thread to a lot of success stories. So I want you to really think about that, to think about what that's all about. What is surrender about? And in our case, it may be just surrendering to the fact that we are spiritually exhausted and we need to recoup and recharge. Get out in nature. Make sure you're looking after your health. Drink lots of water. Take the quiet time of January and really make sure that you are recharging your soul and your spirit. And try to stay away from things that take from you. Try to stay away from things that bother you or it's negative, movies that are a little bit too intense, or newscasts, or, maybe it's family drama. Try to keep things really easy for January. Take it easy on yourself. Think of yourself as a drifter. You're just sort of drifting and allowing things to come to you, whether it be opportunities or realizations or awarenesses, so that these flow to you easily and that you're not fighting for them. You're not fighting through things. That's not what January is about. There's a process of allowing, and you need to allow those realizations and that learning to come through you. And kind of think of it like it's not sticky. It's just going to flow through you and you're going to absorb what you need. The other thing I could really feel about January was the beginning of us releasing judgment. This is important because there's so much judgment around where people are right now. There's a lot of dividing opinions, we'll say. And this is just the beginning of starting to be aware of your own judgment of others, or their opinions, or their arguments, or their knowledge, or what have you. It's just time to be aware of it. Just kind of pay attention to that judgment when it pops up. We're also in a place too where we're completing cycles. So we're starting to see the completion of things that we've been working on for a long time, things we've been wanting and wishing for a long time. We're starting to see things come to a close. And what that means for us is that possibly you may have been manifesting things for many years, and we're going to start to see sort of like the benefit of what we have invested. So we've been investing, not getting the return, and now it feels like that return is starting to show up in very tangible ways. So it could be the obvious, it could be money, but it could also be an improved relationship. It could also be more time for yourself. It could also be some of the things that kind of in your life have been hiccups or challenges, things that have made it hard for you, but you're starting to work through those things. So I want you to you have to stay extremely grounded in self-care in January. And that's going to help you see where your belief system actually sits. Where are you wanting to go? And we're not looking at this like there's any achievement to be made or any certificate to earn. It's not a rush. It's not a rush. This is about you allowing yourself to go through the process of feeling any emotion that needs to be processed right to the end. Do not distract yourself. Don't, grab your phone to cope, or don't turn on the TV or anything. It's about allowing yourself to process through emotions right to the end. And you're going to be okay. Don't worry. It's that time. It's that time to let go. What we're going to see as time goes on, it's the syncing up of belief systems. It's sort of like our energy will start to, we've been divided, but we will start to see people as just people and say, hey, I can see why you think that way. It may not be exactly what I believe, but you're entitled to your own beliefs. And the energy is resonating more clearly with others. So that's where we're moving to. January, you might see little hints of that, but it's not really coming to the full surface as of yet, because this is something that's percolating kind of over the whole year. So these are things that are coming together. The balance that we're trying to strike, the groundedness, the reward for all our hard work, things that we've been trying to manifest for many, many years, finally coming forward. So I want you to it's sort of like keep that excitement up. Keep yourself optimistic. Trust and put trust in the universe that things are coming around. And it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful actually to see what's happening. And as I said, these are things that are kind of like sorting themselves out It's starting to come into our awareness, but we have the whole year to kind of allow these things to come together and to settle out. And so right now it's about, this is the second card I picked, which I just have to show it to you because I love this deck. So 2 vessels, and you can see it says 2 vessels and attraction. Now the focus is not great on my camera, but you can see that it is almost opposites in a sense of 2 beings. They're opposite though of each other, and they're reflecting back to each other. And there's this passion and this heat kind of between them. And they're very different, and they're mirroring each other's actions, and they're also producing, you can see water flowing through them. So for me, this card, it's a symbol for me going forward that our relationships, if you invest in your relationship, it's worth it, but also to see in somebody else your own kind of positive and negative, your attributes and the things that you need to work on, those things reflected back to you from a partner. So January is about awareness in self of where you need to recharge. Where do you have that spiritual exhaustion right now? Where is it that you need to fill up your cup? That's the other thing about this card. You see them filling up their cup. And it's from their connection and reflection in each other. So that synchronicity and that resonance between 2 people, it's really about us all kind of getting on the same page here. Like, let's all work together. But again, January, just the start of this. If we can figure this out, this year is going to be a very abundant year in many, many areas. So great to talk to you. I look forward to our February forecast, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Don't forget, because you'll miss out on those forecasts if you don't. And I have many other videos coming up for your interest. So can't wait to talk to you soon.